Hi, beautiful people. Today I'm going to be speaking with Sally. Sally and her husband tried to conceive for about 7 years before they eventually had their twins. And she's going to be sharing a lot of details of different procedures they had to do to get to this point, sharing stories about the emotional part of it, how she had to protect her mental health, also, postpartum depression, how she was able to manage this. Every single detail. Sally actually is going to give us so much details in this video. So I want to encourage you to watch, take your time to watch, also share with people that you know are trying to conceive, and not just people that are trying to conceive, even you knowing someone that's trying to conceive. I believe this video is going to be helpful for you as well. So remember to like, comment, please also engage in the post. It will help us reach more people. And as usual, the content here are very valuable. So please engage. Sally's going to join us right about now.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Sally. Thank you for joining joining me today. So
You're
I think we
welcome.
can go straight to the questions. The first question is, how long did you have to wait before you had your children?
Okay, how long did we wait? So actually, we had them 7 years after we got married. But yeah, before the 7 years, there were some other stuff in between. We kept trying, and we had tried several times and several things before we got to that point. So it was actually a very long and painstaking process. So when we got married, the funny thing was initially we were like, well, let's just we're not really trying. Let me put it that way. Like if
Yeah.
it happens, fine. If it doesn't happen, but then it did not happen, even though we're not trying. So there's every tendency to to start getting worried. So like, okay, let's just check. So we went to the hospital, we did test and everything, and the doctor was like, okay, he's going to recommend us to do IUI. That's what we started with. So um, he knew we did not need IUI. He knew we did not. That was not what we needed from the test he did. But because he does not do IVF in his clinic, he just used that to keep us, to keep on getting money from us. So we did the first procedure. This by this time was 2016. We got married in October 2014. So I think towards the end of 2015, that was when we started to seek intervention. So by January 2016, yeah, we had the first cycle of IUI and it failed. You know, So your hopes were high, and you're just hoping, okay, it's going to happen, but it did not work. You said, okay.
This was how many years into the marriage?
This was 2016. This was the second year, less than 2 years, because we got married in October 2014, and this was like January 2016. So it was just 1 year and a couple of months. So it didn't work out the first one. He said, okay. The doctor was like, let's try again. He said, okay, no harm in trying. So he kept giving us hope that the next one will work. So we did the second one. So he said we should skip a cycle. So we did the first one in January, we skipped February, we did the next one in March. And then he failed again. He was like, okay, let's try again, let's try again. I'm like, we skipped April and then we did May. Yeah. So when we did third cycle, because we did January, we skipped February, we did March, we skipped April, then we tried again in May. And at this point I was like, it didn't make sense to me anymore because we felt this man knew what he was doing. We told him we're not doing it again. We want to go for something more technical. IVF has surer chances. So he said, no, we should just try again. I told my husband, I'm not doing like the pain of the process, the stress, and it was really very stressful for both of us. So I told him, you know what, let's just find somewhere else. And because of where we were at the time, we were in Calabar then, and I don't think they do IVF in Calabar from our findings. So we were like, let's try another city. So we said let's try Port Harcourt for IVF. But after the whole process, I just done 3 cycles and I was exhausted. So my husband said, just rest. No need to pressure yourself. So we said let's just leave it. If it happens, fine. If it doesn't happen, life goes on. So
Yeah.
we did not try again until October of that same year. So we went to Port Harcourt. I mean, it's not really far from Calabar. We just drive there in the morning very early, go for our appointment, and then drive back home. If it's late, we just lodge in a hotel. So it was really very tiring, having to travel 3 hours, 4 hours if there is traffic, and then because we don't really have I mean, we have to, if we are not able to meet up, we have to sleep over at the hotel. The next morning we travel back. When we have to do scans, we have to travel back. So it was a lot, but at that point we did not have an option. So we just kept going. So then we now went to Port Harcourt, same thing. We started the procedure again, and for whatever reason, their own cycle was really long. So we did the procedure and then had to travel back, come back to have the scans and all of that. So we did the first. That was the first IVF we're doing now, and it failed.
Oh my God.
So this was like the fourth try, and then
Oh.
the worst part was that I developed complications,
After the
and
IVF?
yes, I could have lost my life just from that because I developed OHSS, ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome. I was overstimulated, and they were not doing scans to check. They were not checking often enough. So my ovaries were getting enlarged from the medications. So what normally they're supposed to do scans to check, but they're not doing enough scans. So I was overstimulated. They were giving me too many medications, and my ovaries started to enlarge and accumulate fluid. That's what OHSS is, and it's something that if you do not check it, the woman could lose her life from it. So, and something happened within that cycle. I don't want to call the name of the hospital, but it's a renowned hospital. So we did not expect anything like that. Because we're like, if we have to do this, we have to go to somewhere that we went online, we checked Google, we saw recommendations. Okay, this place is really good. We said, okay, let's try it. So we did not just go to an anyhow hospital. So my doctor I said I wanted a female doctor, and they said they will give me a female doctor. She started with me, and then halfway through, she said she was going on vacation, so she was going to hand me over to someone else. And I was like, this is a very delicate situation. I mean, you don't just drop a patient halfway and just disappear. Can you please stay and let's just finish? And like, no, she can't stay to the end of cycle. She has to go. She put me in good hands. I should not worry about it. She now handed me over to a male doctor who did not know what he was doing apparently. So when I started, I didn't even know what was wrong with me, but I just know that when we got back to Calabar, when we got back home, I used to, I'll be short of breath sometimes. I'll have abdominal pains. I'll feel like throwing up. I'll feel lightheaded. I'll have headache. I was just having lots of strange symptoms. But when I now went online to read, I was like, could this be what's happening to me? And I told
Wow.
my husband, this thing doesn't look good. So when we went for the egg collection, they did the egg collection. I think it's at the point where you do the egg collection, when they bring out the eggs, your ovaries are empty at that point. So it gives the fluids access to just accumulating in your body. So after the egg collection, that was when I started having all of those complications. So we were supposed to go back for the embryo transfer, but the eggs did not even get fertilized. And then they called, and I was like, so what's the need to come over if they didn't get fertilized? Let me just stay here. I mean, there's no need to travel, all the way. They're like, I should come, so give us some counseling and all of that. I'm like, this Port Harcourt trip really stresses us, but let's just go. So we went. And that day we went, that's the day that the worst could have happened to me. When we got to the hospital, I told the doctor, I don't feel okay. This is what I'm experiencing. A doctor that has sense would say, okay, let me do a scan to know what is going on. Because that's the only way you can know what is going on with me. But he said I should go and take paracetamol. I told him, doctor, what is wrong with me? I know what is wrong with me. This is not pain that requires paracetamol. I need a strong painkiller, not paracetamol. Because I told him I was not okay. He said I should go and take paracetamol. I'll be fine. This and that. So they told us the eggs are not fertilized and all of that. So we said, okay, we'll just sleep over at the hotel and then go back the next day because we're already late. So we went to the hotel and lodged. That night. I don't know how I survived that night, but I survived it. So when it got to, I think, around 10 p.m. or so, my body was no longer mine. I could not feel myself. I started throwing up. I was weak. I was vomiting. So my husband gave me the painkillers. I kept vomiting it. I could not eat. I could not drink. I was lying on the floor. I was having a headache. I was weak. My eyes were turning. Like everything was happening to me at the same time. My husband was like, "What's going on?" We were shocked. Like, I mean, we came here. No, even though I was in some kind of pain, but I wasn't that bad. You get. So I think maybe God just made that happen so that they could attend to me there because I wouldn't have been able to travel in that state. So I was weak. I was strained up. So I was even stooling at the same time. Everything was happening at the same time. So we were like, okay, it's midnight. We cannot call the clinic because the clinic does not do admissions. Just you're proceeding and go. They don't admit. So we were trying to manage till morning because we couldn't have done anything. So I think when it was like 6 a.m. or so, By then, I wasn't even very conscious of myself at that point. It was when I called the clinic. This is what is happening. It's an emergency. They have to do a surgery there and then to drain the fluid from my ovaries.
Wow.
So I just saw my life flashing before my eyes. I'm like, surgery from where? So he now had to, everyone started panicking. They now started bringing instruments. My husband was just there. He was just holding my hand. He was crying. He was like, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. So I didn't tell my siblings because I didn't want them to panic. My mom at the time, I'm already teary. My mom at the time was in the US on vacation, and I didn't want to bother her because I told her she would have started coming back home. So I was just trying to, keep everything under control. So he now had to tell one of my sisters, like, let him just tell her, sorry, let me take a break. I'm
Take
teary.
your time. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Let's just give me a minute. So just give me a minute.
No, no, it's fine. Please take your time.
So he called one of my sisters and told her that this is what is going on. So she was like, ah. So he was just trying to give her updates. So just in case, at least my family members know what happened. So um the doctor now said he has to do surgery. So they now brought all those instruments. He now did a scan. I don't know if the doctor was sane. You know, this syringe, this hospital syringe. The back is kind of sharp. He was trying to like get the particular spot where he's going to put the whatever that tube, and he kept piercing the wrong spot. And then where he gave me the injection to numb the pain was not where he was piercing. Like the husband he was even almost shouting at the doctor, like, what are you doing? He did the first time he was trying to use the back of the injection to like just to try to make a mark so he knows where to insert the whatever it was he was inserting. He did it the first time on the wrong spot, and I was screaming because he did not even numb the spot he numbed was not the spot he was trying to prick. He did the second one, the same thing, and each time the tube goes in, I'll feel it doing like when something is squeezing in your stomach. I'll just feel it doing squeezing inside my
Right.
stomach, and then we'll bring it out, it's squeezed because he was putting it in the wrong spot. The second, and we had to pay for all of those things, of course. He did the first one, he didn't do it well. The second one, so by the third one, he now had to tell them to call my doctor. And like the same woman that went on leave was available. So I think when they saw me, they had to call her because immediately he did that thing. She came inside, she just barged into the theater, and from her countenance, you could see that she knew the man was not even. He didn't even know what he was doing. So she just collected whatever he was doing and just did it. She now inserted the tube in once and it went in. So she didn't want him to look unprofessional, so she had to leave the theater. So they now connected that bag, and then all of that. There was plenty of drama. So they connected the bag to drain the fluid, and even when he was teaching, I was screaming. I was screaming down the hospital because I was in so much pain. I didn't know what was going on. My husband was just there, just holding my hand, like, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. So when he said he was done with whatever he was doing, so they gave me a measuring cup. They said I have to, each time I empty the fluid from the bag, from the bag, I have to measure it. They gave me a chart. I should record the amount of fluid I empty and what time I do it. That I should drink a lot of water. That the only way the fluid inside would come out is if I'm taking a lot of water. So I have to keep taking a lot of water. So I have to measure each time I, drain the fluid. I have to measure my urine each time. So it was a lot. It was a lot to keep up with for someone that was not even feeling very well. So they now said that recovery was another hell of a story. So I couldn't do anything. I could not get up from the bed without assistance. I could not go to the toilet without assistance. He had to like carry me everywhere. And that happened until, so they said I should keep measuring the fluid that I'm getting out of the bag, and then when it gets to 120 mils, I should call them so they'll book me to come in. So I think, I'm not sure, between like 7 and 10 days, Sha got to that number, and I called in. They were like, I should still stay a little longer. I said I cannot stay one more day with this thing in my body. You have to take it out. So I go to a clinic here and take it out. And I just felt, let me go back to where they did the surgery, so I don't just go anywhere and take it out. So they said I should not come in. Enter road and went to Port Harcourt. I said, remove the seat from my body. because I cannot get well with this thing still attached to my stomach. So they had to just pull it out, cover the place up. That's when I now started to actually heal and get well.
Oh my
So
God.
and this was like December of 2016. So my husband was like, you know what? We're not trying again. Let's just, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, I'm not ready to lose my wife because of this. So let's just let it go. I mean, so I was not even willing because I could have died from that. So we just let it go and just continued, living life. And then this was like 2016, and we did not try again until 2020.
Wow.
That was when we now relocated to Lagos. And of course, Lagos, you have lots of options. So we went to Nordica. We went to Nordica, and then we had the first procedure in Nordica, which was the second IVF. And of course, the fifth cycle.
Wow.
So this was now October of 2020, anniversary month. So we did the first cycle, and I got pregnant. But then I had a miscarriage. So I'm like, what is going on? So
Mhm.
I don't know, but I think maybe stress or something could have contributed because my husband traveled a lot that period and he got COVID. So and then that was when I lost our friend Ola. So and I got that news of my husband's COVID, my husband having COVID, and then news of losing my friend on the same day. So I was crying. Like I cried so much because I didn't know how he was going to cope. I didn't know if he was going to come out of it. I didn't know how. My emotions were everywhere, and
Yeah, I mean, hearing COVID in 2020 was a different thing to.
yeah, and then I didn't. And then my husband, I had to like stay in separate rooms for the first time since we've been married because he was scared. Um, he didn't want me to get it since I was pregnant, and then and now, man, it was a lot. 2020 was a lot for me. So they cry. I cried that period. When I now went for my scan, they said they could not find a heartbeat.
At how many weeks?
Okay, when I because normally when you do the IVF after 4 weeks they do your first test. So they did the first scan. I was to come back in 2 weeks again for a second scan, and then when I went for a second scan, they could not find the heartbeat. This was about almost 7 weeks, so
Oh my
it was still pretty early. So when that happened, like I said, I can't even take this anymore. I mean, something you waited for so long and then it finally happened. And then, like, it just disappeared. I couldn't even put my emotions. And my husband, man, he was devastated too because he didn't know how I was going to cope. So I was crying. Man, luckily I had family. I had like two sisters in Lagos. Okay, three at the time because one came visiting. So they just came to visit me, they brought me stuff just to cheer me up. So family, man, that was what really helped me to pull through. So my husband said, okay, let's go on a vacation. Able to help you heal. I was like, I don't want to go. I'm tired. So he said, let's just go. He's sure it was going to help me. This was December. This was December 2020. So he booked us a trip to Dubai. So it was a 1 month vacation. I think we went on the eve of Christmas and we stayed till the 24th of the next month. That's January. So we just stayed and the trip helped. It helped me because I was away from my problems for the time, and then we just enjoyed the trip. And then we came back. I think I want to go for this thing again. Like, are you sure? I said yes. I
I
was
just
still
remembered. Sorry to cut you. I just remembered because all of those periods, I used to see your WhatsApp status, and it's all like comedy memes, and it's so interesting that women and couples will be going through things, especially trying to conceive, and you might not even have an idea of
yeah,
what's
you will not know. I used to get lots of comments. People were like, Sally, you're always very happy. How are you able to stay this happy? So some people just want gossip, or some people actually care. So one was like, when she saw me in Dubai, she's like, I'm really enjoying my life. Oh, even though I don't have kids, the way I just enjoy. I said, so should I die? Should I wear sackcloth? I mean, life goes on. Normally, I don't I'm a very easygoing person. I don't even allow my immediate problems to define me. I just try to live my life because I mean, life is just one. There are things that
yeah.
you don't have control over. So why do you want to kill yourself over them? So I just post like I you would never even know what, even when I was in the theater to give birth, I was still on my phone, I was posting him, so you would not even know. So I told him I want to go back, and do the procedure. This was December, and then I was still feeling all the pains on my thighs, the medication on my stomach, everything. I was, I had just come out from a procedure a month before, so all the pain was still there. He was like, "Are you sure you're complaining that your thighs are still aching?" I said, I want to use that anger and go for the next one. Let me channel that trauma and stress into the next one." So, and when we now left, I called the clinic, told me I want to come back. So he said, "Okay, no problem." So I lost that pregnancy in December. So I went back in January, like towards the end of January. When we got back to Nigeria, I think on the 24th of January, I went in 2 days later. I told them I want to start the next procedure. So we started. So it wasn't easy because I had not recovered from the previous one. But I was like, I just had this conviction that this one was going to work. So like, you know what, even if I'm in so much pain, let me just put my mind into the next one I know to work out. So I just channeled all that stress, all that pain into the next cycle, and then we did it. So they I think they got about, normally IVF they'll get, I think they got about 17 eggs or so. Then they'll fertilize the ones they fertilize. I think they fertilized about 7. Then they were to transfer. Normally, when it's like they have the day 3 and day 5 transfer, the day 3 transfer. If your eggs are, if the embryos are dying off really fast, they quickly transfer on day 3 just to save the ones that are like, well, if the embryos are still very good and you see how good, normally leave you till day 5 because they feel it gives a better chance, because they feel that by day 5 the ones that manage to get to day 5 are really, are really strong and are the best. So that's the one they now transfer. So by day 3 they said we are going to do a day 5 transfer. So I think by day 3 we still had up to 5, but by day 5 we had just 2 embryos left. So, and they usually grade it. The funny thing is that the previous IVF we did, we had 3 embryos by day 5, but there was a grade. They had 2 grade A and 1 grade C. So I just wanted to put the 2 grade A. I did not want the grade C. So, but I still lost that pregnancy. So I don't know if it was going to result in twins. I don't know, but so this time we had just 2. I think just put the 2 grade A because we had 2 grade A, and then that was what they transferred. So, and then just like, okay, look at the monitor when we are transferring the embryo, just pray. Doctors have done their work, so it's left for you. God will do the rest. So, I mean, even doctors pray to God, so they can only do the much they can do. So, we did that, and then we went home. So, after 2 weeks, I think I mentioned 4 weeks before. After 2 weeks, they do the pregnancy test, not 4 weeks. So, after 2 weeks, I went back and it was positive. I was like, I did not know how to feel. I was scared, because of what happened the first time. I did not know what was going to happen. I couldn't even tell, my parents, my in-laws. I couldn't tell anybody, my siblings, because I didn't want a situation whereby I'll tell you and then maybe something goes wrong and you start telling me, sorry, I don't like all of those things. So I said, let's just handle this ourselves. Then we are sure that it's going to stay. We can now tell our families. So, um, when we now did the pregnancy test was positive. After 2 weeks to go back for a scan, I went back. The scan showed, I think one embryo was very visible, the other one was not. I was like, hey, God, I beg, not again. So I said I should come back again after 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, we went and we could see everything. We could see both of them, and I was like, I mean, I remember that day. I was like, is this really happening? So I was happy, and then they did the procedure. And the thing is that even after they do the transfer, the embryo transfer, you still take medications. I was placed on medications until 12 weeks.
Wow.
So they give me the one to insert, they give me there were injections that we had to pay in us to come to the house, and because it placed me on bed rest, so the nurse had to come to the house and be giving me the injections for, is it 4 weeks? I can't even remember, 2 or 4 weeks. But I had medication that I was taking till like 12 weeks. I was inserting them. So I was so tired that the smell of the medication used to even piss me off. I'm like, God, I could not wait. The day I clocked 12 weeks, the way I just that day was like the happiest day of my life. I said I was free from all this medication. Still take your prenatals, but the fact that you're done with all the IVF medications and all, because they have to give medications to make your body accept the pregnancy, so your body knows that okay, there's something there, and your body does not try to fight it. So, and then I was bleeding. I was bleeding till 17 weeks. And in the previous pregnancy where I got had a miscarriage, I started bleeding too. So when I started bleeding this pregnancy, I was like, God, what is happening? Not again. You know. So the doctor, when I went for the scan, she said I was fine, that the babies were fine too, but the bleeding is not in from any of them. That it just happens. There's really no explanation to it, but I should be on bed rest. I shouldn't do anything. So I was placed on bed rest for the longest, for as long as I could be on bed rest. So I was bleeding. Any day I just tried to maybe enter the kitchen and cook, or maybe I want to go to teach my students in class, I start bleeding. So my husband said, you know what, get someone to teach your students and leave the cooking. I had a housekeeper before then anyway, so she just started doing the cooking. Her and my husband did the cooking together. So I stopped going to work. I just stayed at home, just lie on the bed, eat food, press your phone, post memes, and all of that. So when the day I clocked 17 weeks, that was the day I actually stopped bleeding. Because doctor was like, this bleeding does not stop. We have to admit you.
Wow.
So the bleeding just, that was the last day I saw any, and bleeding was quite heavy. So I didn't experience it after that. So that was when my mind, finally came down. And then we did the scan, everything was fine. So and then the pregnancy was quite difficult because I was carrying two, and it was a lot.
I
So when
just
we
you
it was a lot. So when we got
yes.
to I think 35%, I begged I said, doctor, please remove these babies. I cannot survive. I cannot survive. She said, she cannot remove them, oh, that the babies are fine and I'm fine too. And it's only when there is a threat to maybe either the mother's life or the child's life they do a surgery. But as far as babies are fine, she cannot do anything. I cried home that day because I could not walk well at that point. My feet were swollen, and they were not just
Mm,
swollen, they were heavy, they were paining me. I had to start wearing compression socks from like 4 months. I think no, from like 5 months, I wear compression socks. Any day I don't wear it, I cannot walk. My feet were aching. So I was limping around the house most times because the pain till today, as I speak to you, I still have that pain in my leg. To show you how serious it was. Till today. My kids are already 2 years and I still experience that pain. So the pain was a lot. So she's like, I cannot do anything. So when I now went back again to beg her, I think at 36 weeks, she said, Madam, I'm not moving these babies though. Hey, come on, she cried. And I went home and sent her one long message. I said, Doctor, if you don't, this was ever care. I said, Doctor, if you don't take out these babies, I'm going to Reddington. I'm not giving birth in your upside again. She's like, am I threatening her? A parent's one does not want to hear anything at that point. She just wants the babies to be out because I was going through a lot. So she understood where I was coming from. I said, I'm not threatening you, but if you don't let me have these babies, I'm going somewhere else to go and have them. She said, don't worry, you'll be fine. So my mom was like, don't worry, you've already carried this pregnancy till now. Just wait another 1 week. But that 1 week was like 2 months. So we had to wait anyway. So I had to doctor. So I eventually had them anyway at 38 weeks. Because I told her I could not. And I know that from what I know, from 36 weeks, 3 is already full time.
yeah,
So I felt she was being wicked to me, but really she was doing what was the best for me. Because the longer the baby stayed, the better. They
yeah.
both came out very healthy, very good birth weight. One was 2 points, almost 2.8. The other one was 3 point something, 3.06. So when I had them, and then I had them on our anniversary. Our
Wow.
seventh anniversary, like, okay, at least that's something to compensate me, for all the trouble. So,
Just look at that. But I'm
so
just really curious, like why you were waiting, what kept you going? I mean, especially after the first couple of procedures, when you just
yeah.
decided, you know what, nothing, we're just going to
Mm,
stop at this point. What kept you going? Because I can also imagine that people were leaving comments or saying things that
a
were
lot, a lot.
indirectly touching. So how did you cope?
The thing is that I'm a happy-go-lucky kind of person. I
Yeah,
don't
I
let I
get.
don't let situations get to me. When I feel stressed or pressured, I just go and start shopping. I like online shopping. I buy shoes. I was obsessed with shoes. I just anything to make me happy. And I see anyone drop any silly comment, I block you. I was protecting my mental health because people would make you run mad if you listen to them. I remember on our first anniversary. Oh, my husband bought me a puppy. And I posted the puppy on Facebook. Someone now made a comment. Instead of me, something in the line of instead of me to go and have children, I'm buying a puppy. This
Wow.
was our friend. I don't know this person. He doesn't know the person too. So when he saw the comment, he deleted it. He didn't know I'd already seen it. So I told him not that I should know where he has deleted it because he has my Facebook on his phone too. Like I deleted the comments. I didn't want you to see it, but don't bother with it. people say the most insensitive things. They don't even know what you're going through. They just open their mouth and talk. So
That was
me,
like 1 year.
1 year, like the first year, our first anniversary. So imagine what happened in the remaining in the other 6 years, before we now had our babies. So what I do, I just say any comment that I know is going to stress me, I block you. I block you, whether it's on WhatsApp, anywhere. I don't even give it a second thought, because I don't see any reason why you should not have sense. You don't know what someone is going through, and me, I'm not one to come and post my problems on, so people look at me, I don't post what I'm going through on my social media, because I don't like people to come and, I don't like all that, oh, I'm sorry, sorry thing. I don't like it. So I just try to live my life. I post what I want you to see. I don't come and post that. But no, after I had my babies, I now shared my story. You get to encourage other people, but to post it while I'm going through, it did not make any sense to me. So you're not making those kind of comments. I block you. Like, man, my mental health was my priority at that point. So I did not let anything bother me. So
Wow. Thank you for sharing. So I think that this is also very helpful for people that are trying to conceive. As much as you can,
yeah,
just keep yourself sane, even if sometimes
exactly.
family members. So how do you avoid people like this? Because I think I can sense that in your case, your family
My
members were.
family did not give me, like, I was not under any pressure whatsoever from my immediate family, from my in-laws. I was not under any pressure. So I mean, if my family was not putting me under pressure, why should you put me under pressure if my family is not? So my in-laws, everyone, like, they just gave us time. They were not even, and my mother had lots of grandchildren before I got pregnant. My mother-in-law were, my kids are her first grandchildren, but I was not under pressure from anybody at all. So I don't see any reason why outsiders should now put me under that kind of pressure.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
awesome. Thank you for sharing. Like I'm so glad that you're sharing your story because a lot of refrain from sharing such stories. I
Yeah,
think that this would also make people that are, or couples that are trying to conceive, realize that they are not alone. Also, that they are also.
exactly. And it's very important to have, I don't, like in my case, I have a very supportive spouse. He was there through everything. He followed me for every antenatal, he followed me for every procedure. He was always there. So, thankfully, the finances were there. But then again, I had that emotional support. Some people are just alone, and it's not easy for them. But when you have that backing from your spouse, it's everything. Because it makes you feel like you're not alone. You have someone to go through the whole process with you. He was the one giving me all my medications, every single one of them. I could not even pick myself in it. He was the one doing everything for me. So that alone gave me the assurance that, oh, this person is actually going to be there through it. Even when I gave birth, he was in the labor room, in the theater rather. He was there the whole time. So that emotional support is everything, really.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I have two, no, three questions. Um,
Okay.
so how did you feel when your children eventually came, when the twins were born? You know, I say that eventually they didn't feel any sort of way because maybe they had waited so long that they were even confused of how to interpret their emotions. But
Yeah.
how was it?
I mean, till today, till this very moment, I'm still very obsessed. When they came in, I was like, are these babies really mine? I was. It felt like a dream. It was so surreal. Till today, I still feel like, and when I look at them, and they're really cute, I'm like, wow, did I really give birth to these babies? So
Oh
till this moment, I am obsessed with them. So I felt happy that, after everything, and then I still got here. After everything, I eventually had them. So, I mean, I felt good about it. Till today, I still feel very happy and overwhelmed.
so that definitely leads to my next question. Did you at any point feel depressed postpartum? Did you experience that?
Well, the only reason I did not experience depression, the only reason, because I would have, the only reason I did not experience depression was because I had family around me. My mom could not come for Omugwa because she was not feeling too well. So my mother-in-law came, and then I had a nanny. My husband was there. I had like other people, around. So I had support. I had siblings also. I had support. Now, why I said I would have had depression was because my twins are two opposites. When they were born, one of them he did not give me any stress. I had never seen a baby that was so calm and so peaceful. And the other one, I'd never seen a baby that cried so much. So I don't know. God was like, I let me give you the one that will stress you, and I give you the one that will pamper you, because they are two opposites till today. Like one of them, Augustine, when he was born, until this boy turned 5 months, he only cries when he's hungry. He doesn't cry for you to carry him. He doesn't. When he's awake, he plays with himself by himself. He does not care whether you carry him or not. And then when he eats, he sleeps. He could sleep 18 hours, 20 hours. He liked sleep that much. And
Wow.
you can give him food, and then go from Lekki to Yaba and come back. He'll still be sleeping. So even when he comes to the house, you don't know there's a baby in the house because he doesn't cry. If he cries, he's hungry. He did
Oh,
not give
wow.
me any stress. Then his brother, oh my god. Ah, his brother had colic, first of all. And I don't know, but when I went to the clinic, doctor was like, they can't really do anything about it. I mean, the medications they give you may have side effects to give when you give
Yeah.
the baby. So they rather just, pet the baby. When I tell you nothing worked for this boy, nothing worked for him. So every night he cries from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. non-stop. When I say non-stop, he does not give a break of 1 minute. And you have to stand and carry him. You dare not sit down. No matter how you pet him, this boy will cry until it is around 3 or 4 a.m. That's when he will sleep. And when he sleeps, normally the brother can sleep like 3-4 hours straight. But Adrian will sleep 10 minutes. If you as much as breathe beside him, he'll wake up and start screaming, and then you have to start that cycle all over again. So once it was 10 p.m., everybody at home had panic attack every night. I'm not joking. Every night, once it's 10 p.m., everybody, hey God, it's 10 p.m. Adrian will start crying. And truly, this boy will cry until morning, until like 3-4 a.m. So only my nanny could handle that boy. Because we actually wanted to have them in the US, but we did not get our visas early enough. We did not apply early enough, so our visas did not come through. So, and I tell myself, I think it was a blessing in disguise. Because imagine if we had these boys outside, and then I had a cesarean section. My husband and I would not have been able to cope with both of them. Having a child that needed special attention because of how he used to cry a lot. So there was no way in the
It,
world,
at that point,
yes,
depression
we would.
was setting.
So I told my husband, see, like this thing is the best thing in disguise. So like for the fact I was happy that we did not get these visas. Because if we had gotten it,
I know that feeling. I also know that experience because it was the same for me.
if I had gotten it, I would have been calling her every day to cry. But then my nanny was able to, like, she wasn't one that could handle him. She'll carry him. She'll stand for hours, and everybody will change. After she carries him, when she's tired, my husband will carry him. When he's tired, my mother will carry. When she's tired, I'll carry. This boy will not stop crying until yes, he's satisfied.
Oh
Until
my
today,
God.
he still cries, Steph. But at least, so
That's
no,
two different
there are
personalities.
two different people. So
Imagine a
until
mother having to
uh,
manage
there was
those
no way I would have coped with a child that had colic and was, always in discomfort. There was no way.
without people supporting you.
No, I wouldn't have coped. So that was the only thing that led me to have depression. And then when I after I gave birth, I developed ulcer post delivery. Like I never had ulcer my whole life, but after I gave birth, I started having ulcer attacks. I think maybe I don't know, maybe because of the medications, and then because it was a plant, yes, you would not eat for a certain period of time, and then I don't know, but I just know that I think like 2 days after I gave birth, I started having those, stomach pain, and then a month after I gave birth, they had to admit me in the hospital because the pain was a lot. So that was just those are the things that would have made me really, really go into depression. And then I had this headache that I don't know where the headache came from. It was a migraine, not even a headache. I had that headache from when I gave birth. I had that headache spanned like 3 weeks. And you know how the headache is so bad, you feel like your head is going to explode. No matter the medication you take, it does not stop. So all those things. But because I had family, my mother was not even allowing me cry my babies because she knew I needed rest. So I don't. She only brings them to come and maybe to come and suck or to come and stay with me, and then she takes them back. She did not allow me. She didn't allow them to stress me one bit, and she stayed for like 5 weeks, and then she left.
Shout out to such mother-in-laws. Thank you.
She was.
Love you, mother-in-law.
She was really helpful because she did not allow. She always said, "Don't keep the babies with her for too long. She needs to rest. She only bring them. Oh, carry your baby. I'll just carry them, pet them." And then I couldn't even. I had to they had to take formula from the one. I could not do the exclusive thing because I needed to heal myself.
Yeah.
So she just
Yeah.
keep them. When she wants them, so she just bring them. I'll carry them, play with them until I was able to get myself. I was not stressed in any way because I had family. But now imagine all the issues I went through and then having to add that, we're not having family support, it would have been crazy, and there's no way I wouldn't have gone into depression. But
Well,
yeah, we thank God for
thank you
everything.
so much for sharing. And my final question is: do you have any word
Okay.
for couples that are trying to conceive, or a woman that is trying to conceive? Just anything that you think um, would be useful, any useful information you think you want to share.
Okay. What I'll say is that this trying to conceive journey it's actually a very lonely path. It's very lonely, and some people who are going through it, they don't have anyone to talk to. They just it just eats them in. They don't know what to do. They don't know what the next step is. They don't have recommendations. So a lot of people come to me, strangers even, maybe from social media, maybe from maybe a post I made or something, or some people from my WhatsApp will be like, my friend or my colleague is also trying to conceive, please can you talk to her, you get. And I just talk to them. That's encouragement. When you feel and I'm not alone, someone can relate. Talking to someone that I know has been there, has done that, someone
Yeah,
who can relate with you, it gives you some kind of comfort. It may not solve your problem completely, but the fact that you know that, okay, this thing is not unusual, someone can actually relate to me and share experiences. So I'm always very open to talking to people. People will be like, oh, please, what do I do? How long did it take you to get pregnant? What is required? Know which hospital. So I always, like, I'm always open to those discussions. I always give my all. When people come to me, people I don't know, like, okay, give them my number. I'll just, just to encourage them. That encouragement is everything, because I have been there and I know how hard it was the whole period. It was difficult. I would not lie. Even though I had all the support, I had the finances, I had the emotional backing, it was still very difficult. So imagine people who are struggling with these things and you don't have a spouse who understands. So some men don't even understand these things. You get. So it's a very lonely part. So what I would say is that try to talk to somebody. Try to talk to somebody who can relate with your situation. Trust me, that's the fact that someone can relate with you gives you, some kind of peace. Okay, if this person could, do this, and after so number of years she got what she wanted, I can do it too. And I had a friend who even came to me last year. She was like, she's married for just a year. Oh. She's not pregnant. She's so worried. Like, why are you worried, girl? Live your life. I mean, just have sex and enjoy it. Don't do it because you are expecting to get pregnant. Do it because you just want to do it and you're having fun with your spouse, not because you're expecting anything. Because if you put too much of pressure on yourself, it would even make your situation more difficult. That pressure and stress does not help in any way. It only helps to complicate issues, and then you're always hoping that this thing. And then when it doesn't happen, you're just shattered. So just live your life, enjoy yourself, go on trips, go on vacations, travel, do anything that makes you happy while you're waiting. When I was there, I wasn't really, at some point I was like, you know what, I'm not doing it again. If it happens, fine. It doesn't happen, fine. I did not put my mind there. But then eventually when we were ready, we went again and it happened. So just do what you can do, live your life. Don't say because I don't have children I'll be unhappy. If I don't tell you my story, you will not know that I went through this, because you will never tell the kind of person I am or what I went through if you're just viewing me from outside, unless I tell you personally. So just try to live your life and do not let negativity get to you. Don't let what people say get to you. You have to
yeah,
be the strong man. You're the only one who can, defend yourself and put that fence around your
yeah,
mental health. If you
yeah.
let people trample over you, you will run mad. I'm not
Yeah.
even joking. So you should be the one to protect your mental space and your peace. So that's what I have to say.
Thank you so much, Sally. I would also add that people that know people that are trying to conceive or
Yeah.
know couples should also be very sensitive. It's really hurtful when
Yeah.
but be sensitive. In case you are watching this and you are someone that knows someone that is trying to conceive, please be kind with your words.
Be very kind, because you don't know what people are going through. You really
Yeah.
don't know.
Thank you so much, Sally. I have to add that Sally has a YouTube channel where she shares the food she gives to her twins every day, and I'm
Yeah.
always I must do both because I think the name of the channel is Noogie
Noogie
Foods,
foods. Yeah.
UGI Foods. So, guys, please follow.
Yeah. Food inspirations, meal recipes, and all of that.
Yeah, please, guys, follow, subscribe. I'm sure you would definitely love the content that Sally puts out. And as well, remember to subscribe to my channel as well. Thank you so much, Sally. This was really, really,
Thank
really,
you too.
and
I
thank you.
enjoyed being here.
Thank you.
See you
All
some other
right.
time.
Have a beautiful day.
And you too.
We're on a
Bye.
show now.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave comments. Don't forget to let us know how this has helped so that we can get more reach. And don't forget to share. Bye bye.